Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be doing something different. We're going to take a look at a few videos about AI in the workplace. Roll my intro.
It's okay if I use AI. It's not if you use it though. And the big thing I've seen that with is applying for jobs and resumes.
Yes.
The amount of job ads I've seen on like Seek, for example, that will all clearly be written by AI. And sometimes, like I have seen a couple times, a prompt still left in there because I just copy and pasted. But I can guarantee you, if you applied for that job and used AI, immediately thrown in the bin. Immediately. That's the case with our job. All the AI resumes were thrown away.
Yes.
Yeah. The downside of AI, I think it has made job hunting for people a lot harder. And the problem is it just completely fucks the whole job market. It's too easy to apply for a job, which sounds bad because it shouldn't be hard for people to, but it's at a astronomically low level and it takes less than a second type of deal. That's too easy.
I just came from a board meeting, and you guys, why don't we have any working AI? It's embarrassing at this point. I'm not sure what you mean. You know, we have working AI in every corner of this business. I'm not talking about your Chat GPT. Yeah, for sure. I'm not talking about Chat GPT either. I'm talking about the expense tool that flags your client dinners at the golf course. That's AI. The recruiting system that auto rejects half of your rock star referrals because they don't have the efficient keywords in their resume. Also AI. The demand forecasting AI that Karen hates in planning, who likes to just check your last year's spreadsheet and the weather report. That is supposed to be AI. Remember when you were in your digital twin obsession era and you had to have that computer vision forklift safety system? You know, the one that like absolutely loses it every time you walk within 20 feet of it. And then so everyone just puts tape over the camera. Oh, and that energy optimizer that we had to have because, you know, we're a green company now that keeps shutting off the HVAC in the plant at 3 p.m. in July because it's, quote, peak savings. I mean, and my personal favorite, who could forget the strategic innovation blockchain settlement platform that you made us buy that's literally never cleared a single transaction, but never forgets to bill us thousands of dollars every month. That is also AI, or it's supposed to be. No, I don't mean like those boring things. I mean, I want like big, bold, transformational AI. Oh, okay, and what would this big, bold AI do? You guys, like, do I have to do everything? You're so slow and you're not thinking big picture. I'm just gonna call a censure. Okay, well, say goodbye to all your money and your dignity.
AI has, this is just my opinion, has tanked the job market. And I don't mean in the sense of AI's coming to take my job. I mean in the sense that my resume doesn't even get looked at a person anymore half the time. I may meet all the qualifications for the job, but because I didn't use a certain keyword, my resume gets thrown in the trash. And I get it, you want to be efficient, you want to look through a whole bunch of data in a short amount of time. But now it's starting to become inefficient because you're passing over quality talent. It shouldn't take people out there 100+ job applications to get one interview. And in my opinion, I think it's because AI has tanked the market. So let's just say, for sake of argument, your resume gets past the AI system. Guess what? Depending on what field you're in, and I'm pretty sure I think every field has adopted AI in some shape or form. Now you have to use the thing.
Are you familiar with the term vibe coding, or have you seen it around anywhere?
Vibe coding?
It's when you use AI agents to basically do all the coding for you instead of, actually coding.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to say that again, but slower, so I can process the absolute crime against humanity that you just spewed.
It's the future. You just tell AI what you want and boom, app made. No stress, no debugging, no, why isn't this working? Just vibes.
Just vibes?
Just vibes.
That's not coding though. That's a Pinterest board with commit access.
I think you mean it's optimizing workflow.
It's ruining an entire profession. But you're just gonna tell me that people are just vibing applications into existence now?
Basically.
What if it writes bad code? Like, what if the site goes down? Do we just Sage the server room?
Well, then I would just tell it, nah, do better.
Do you even know how to write a for loop?
I'll answer your question with another question. Do I need to know?
Oh my god.
Look, man, the world is changing. Back in your day, sure, you had to, know things. Now, I'm more of a creative director for code.
I once spent 72 hours debugging a memory leak so bad, my computer started leaking actual tears.
I'm sorry. That sounds like a skill issue.
I am going to lose it.
Or, hear me out, you can embrace the vibes.
You're fired, by the way.
Two things. First, I'm not opposed to saging the computer equipment. All praise be the Omnissiah. If you know, you know. And two, I do know how to write a for loop. We went over it in this video here. I'll leave a link somewhere on the video. But no, I get what the guy in blue is saying, how you just shouldn't trust AI blindly with your code. I remember when ChatGPT came out, I played around with the coding abilities with it, and maybe just because it was one of the earlier models, it sucked. It was not good at all, and this is coming from someone who barely knows how to code, but the functionality of it was just completely off. But the thing is, here's the funny part. I didn't know I was vibe coding. I don't think that term had really become mainstream while I was just playing around with ChatGPT.
You know what really grinds my gears? When people talk about vibe coding as if it's a derogatory term or slanderous or some nefarious activity that people are doing who are out here trying to build their own MVPs or their own beta products. And sure, they may not have the disciplined software development background that some people have. They may not have the in-depth understanding of security and how to secure data in and out and secure platforms. I understand those concerns and they are valid. Sure, there are going to be bugs, there are going to be glitches, but I don't know any software that doesn't have bugs or glitches, even from well-seasoned software developers, even from development companies, even from Apple, from Windows, right? They're not immune to bugs and glitches. What I really think it is, and it's kind of obvious if you just look at it just for a second, people are just threatened by it. Who wouldn't be? It's an instinctual response if you spent a decade plus in that field, whether that be in college getting educated, or whether that be actually in the field developing and deploying software. You feel like people are coming for your role. You feel like your role is becoming less important. But I argue the opposite. It's actually becoming more important because now there's going to be more code, period, that needs a trained eye to understand the different nuances and to be able to take into account all of the different dynamics of developing software. And that only comes from people who have actual lived and long-term experience in that discipline. So guys, stop talking about vibe coding like it's a bad thing. Stop feeling bad if you're vibe coding. Have fun, knock yourself out, because I promise you there will be some good products that come out of people vibe coding. They might not be the finished product, but the end product would have started with vibe coding. Long live vibe coding.
Everyone assumes that AI is cheaper than hiring a human, but it's not. Companies running AI coding agents cost $300 a day in token cost per agent. That's over $100K a year for a bot that you can't control, and exactly what people don't realize. For engineers, bot code alone can run $200 to $2,000 per month in AI usage. And on average, developers spend $200 to $600 a month across all AI tools. And the heaviest users are racking up $300K a year in compute costs, which is more expensive than what some engineers make in their salary. Now, these users are consuming way more GPUs than they're paying for, and Anthropic and their VCs are covering the cost for now. But we've seen this movie play out before with Uber, Spotify, and Amazon Prime, where they make the prices really cheap, get people to use it, while the VCs cover the gap, and then double prices once everyone is using them. Now, that's a strategic play. For 2026 alone, Anthropic expects to spend $12 billion training AI models and another $7 billion running them, so we don't expect them to be profitable until 2028. So our AI usage right right now is extremely discounted. But once that subsidy ends, we're going to be paying primo prices, and you're going to realize that your AI usage isn't that much cheaper than human labor.
In my opinion, when it comes to just your simple, maybe you just want something on your home lab, for example, go ahead, vibe code it by all means. But when it comes to something more intricate, for lack of a better term, then no, you should definitely code that by hand, because AI is not perfect. We've all heard of the cases of AI just hallucinating random BS. He does make a valid point. What program, system, etc. doesn't have some type of bug, glitch, anything like that? Look at modern day video games nowadays. Heck, look at Cyberpunk 2027 when it first came out. I get what he's saying, how people have an idea, they just may not have the technical know-how to implement that idea. And I get it, I understand that. And he makes a valid point. You're still going to have that human element to double check the AI's work. And I'm not saying this creator is right. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just giving my opinion. It just seems like now that AI is more prevalent, coding just seems like a lost art in my opinion. And software developers, let us know down below, is coding becoming a lost art? Let us know. I'm really curious.
Business executives are now reeling as they review the AI bills. After shoving AI down the throats of employees, companies are now having sticker shock when they see just how much it's costing them, because replacing workers with AI is not free. And now, large companies like Netflix are actually getting in humans who they're paying high amounts of money to come in and add a human element to their programming and to their systems. The same thing that they tried to phase out with AI.
Man, who would have thought AI costs money? Go figure. I remember when AI first came out and all these companies were like, it's gonna be the next big thing. It's gonna save us a ton of money. We're gonna be Scrooge McDuck. Turns out it was just cheaper to keep the employees that they had. Now they're out here like, please, sir, can I have some more tokens? I'm fine with using AI as a tool, but I don't think that's what a lot of people understand. It's just a tool. You could still have the best hammer in the world for sake of argument, but it's still just a tool. It's still just sitting there. It's not going to replace that human element. But that's going to do it today, guys. Let me know if you like these kind of videos. If you do, I'll go ahead and do my best to produce more for you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, buy my book, link down below. And like always, thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you on the next one.